Welcome back, Bear fans, to the Windy City Bears Network, where I'm your host, RC. Doing a quick video on Jaquan Brisker today, his year review. Obviously, we know he missed most of last season, so I am going to talk about his first 2 years. He's going into his fourth year with the Bears, second-round pick, first draft for Ryan Poles, his second pick. Kyle Gordon was his first pick in the second round, and then he came back and picked Jaquan Brisker. And his rookie season, he actually had a really good season. 104 tackles, 4 sacks, 1 interception, 5 tackles for loss, 1 forced fumble, 2 pass deflections. In his sophomore year, he had 105 tackles, 1 sack, 1 interception, 9 pass deflections, 2 forced fumbles, and 3 tackles for loss. And then last year, only played about 4 games. He had 40 tackles, 1 sack, 1 interception, 2 pass deflections, 1 forced fumble, and 3 tackle for losses. So obviously, Jaquan is our strong safety. He's an aggressive safety. He plays downhill. We're missing, like I said, he had 100+ tackles his first 2 seasons. With him not in the backfield last year, it really hurt our defense. He's in a contract season also, so it's a very, very important year for him. Even if he does play 16 games, 17 games, 15 games, it's still going to be very tough for us to give him a long-term deal, more than probably 2 years with all the concussions he's had. He's had 3 concussions in 3 seasons. And obviously last year, his concussion cost him about 14 games or somewhere around there. He was week to week. Everybody thought he was going to be able to come back, and he wasn't able to. Listening to him this offseason, they said, "Are you going to change the way you play?" He said, "Absolutely not. I'm going to continue to keep playing the way he plays." So any head injuries is just very tough. It's tough to give somebody a long-term deal when health is a concern for the team. It kind of sucks for him. Like I said, he missed most of last season in a contract year. Obviously, he wants to get paid. We just paid Kyle Gordon. We made him the highest paid nickel in the NFL. Brisker, I think, he's a good safety. For strong safeties, I think he's at least top 10, somewhere around there. He's one of the better safeties in the league. He's a young, extending, strong safety. We definitely need him. I wish the Bears would have did a little bit more to get some insurance, because if he goes down again, we really don't have anybody who can kind of step in there anything better than we did last year. And last year, it just wasn't good enough for this backup safeties we had. But, you can't fix every issue in the offseason. We fixed the O-line. We strengthened the wide receiver room, the tight end room, the D-line room, even though we could have probably used a better defensive end. But like I said, you can't fix everything. Ryan Poles has done a good job, getting Ben Johnson and all the moves he's made. You only have so much cap space. You only have so many draft picks. So you can't fix everything. Hopefully, like I said, Brisker will have a strong season. So going into this year, if he can stay healthy in the scheme that Dennis Allen is doing, a downhill scheme, I think he should have more towards 115, 120 tackles. Maybe go back to his rookie season. He had 4 sacks that year. I could see him getting another 4 this season, with the blitzing and things that we're probably going to do. When you're playing an Eberflus's system and he's not as aggressive, he doesn't blitz as much, it's a cover 2, you're not going to really see certain positions get as many tackles or as many sacks. And I know you really don't want to have your strong safety being one of your top sack leaders, but, he's a guy who can come in and make plays. Kyle Gordon's another guy on blitzes who can come in and get some sacks. So, we're going to have to get sacks by committee anyway this year. Montez Sweat is the best guy we have. And after that, there's definitely a dip, especially from defensive ends. Hopefully Robinson can come in and maybe do something. We have a couple of young guys that need to kind of step up and at least be solid rotational guys. I'm not saying that they're going to be a guy who comes in and gets 10 to 12 sacks. But Brisker is a guy who really helps his secondary. If he's not playing this season or misses a lot of time, we're not going to be as good on the back end. With him playing, like I said, I think we're one of the top 5 or 6 secondaries in the NFL. So what do you guys think? You think if he has a good season, regardless, we should give him a contract extension, 3 or 4 year contract? Let me know what you guys think about his concussions. Or do you think that we need to let him walk at the end of the season, no matter what? If you like this content, guys, please hit a like, subscribe. It's free. Until next time, Bear fans, bear down.